Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co., and this is another video of board game upgrades and deluxifications, upgraded bits, inserts, all those things. We'll go into them. These are the games on the table. We'll go through all of that, and there is a giveaway at the end of the video, so make sure to either just skip this entire video and jump straight there if you want to. I'd feel a little sad, but it's okay. I understand. Or alternatively, just, look in the description down below for all the notes, any of those things. And before we jump into the various games, as usual, this particular video series is sponsored by Top Shelf Gamer. You can check out, speaking of the description down below, you can check out if you want a little discount code or whatever it is. It's a referral link, so I do get a commission, but if you want to check that out, that is in the bottom of every one of these videos, but you can go ahead and check that. In any case, let's go ahead and start this off with the crew. So I actually have a few different things going on here, including a bit of a modification and change. So the crew, this one actually, I don't know if the term saved me money is the right one, but you'll see what I mean. So the crew is a small little game that I have talked extensively-ish about. I've reviewed it. It showed up in a lot of videos. It will show up in more videos. I'm going to be doing a video shortly on some of the best games you can get in a small box form. I don't know if this is on the list yet or not, but it should be if it's not. I don't know. We'll see. I have to do that video. We'll talk about that another time. But the crew this is the crew Mission Deep Sea. This is the newer version of the crew, and I actually have a bit of an insert for this, although with complications. So here's the dealio over here. This is the actual insert you can get. This is from Top Shelf Gamer. Again, links to all the stuff down below. But this is a 3D printed insert, so you can theoretically build one of these yourself if you have a 3D printer. But this comes nice, does the job, all of that. And this gives you the various spots you need, and then some. The and then some part is I have a bunch of Geek Bits and Geek Up Things bags from Board Game Geek. That's going to be another referral link down below, so if you buy any of that stuff. But this is a bunch of stuff from the Geek shop over on Board Game Geek, and this kind of allows you to get rid of, or don't get if you already have it. I'm saying this incorrectly. Let's put it this way. I have the crew, and I have the crew Mission Deep Sea. In theory, there's reasons to keep both if you want the gameplay of the crew and the gameplay of Mission Deep Sea. But if you get this, which I'm about to show you over here, you can get rid of the crew, or just never get the crew, and have all the gameplay you need to basically have both if you get Mission Deep Sea and these little bits over here. You see, the crew is a trick-taking game, a cooperative trick-taking game, in which you're basically trying to win specific tricks. The main differentiation between the Deep Sea and the crew is the Deep Sea version gives you these little cards over here that are specific goals in terms of the way they're phrased, and they have different objects. There's something upside down over here. I should probably flip this back. They need to be shuffled properly. But they give you specific cards with different criteria. You're going to win a trick with a 5. You're going to win that specific thing. It gives you more variability to the experience. So that's what the Mission Deep Sea gives you. The original crew just gives you specific numbers you're trying to win, which they handle with a small deck of cards. If you want to play with both, you can use the large deck from the crew Mission Deep Sea, which you can find over there. And I'm debating getting rid of the first player marker because we never really use that. And plus I could use this one from the little Geek Up bit set, Geek Up, I think it's called Geek Up set from Board Game Geek. But what you can do is you can go ahead and grab these tokens from the bag, putting them on the table, treating them like the small card deck over here as far as the numbers people are trying to win. So you can go ahead and set these up and use this bag to replace the small deck of cards. The compromises you should be aware of before you get any of this is, first of all, this extra insert that doesn't really do anything for me because it's extra space that I don't need. That's unfortunately wasted space, and I'm dumping the bag over here. It works well, you saw it all fits in over there, but it feels a little bad. I kind of wish, just because I like, OCD-ish stuff, I kind of wish we just didn't have this middle bar. So I can put the Geek Up bag in here. In theory, I could probably dump the tokens into one or both of these and squish the bag in. But practicality is going to win over anything else. And so maybe I can cut that out. I wonder how hard it is to cut out part of a 3D. I don't know. I may look into this. I'm not going to throw this out yet, but I'm probably going to end up throwing it out so that I can have the bag over here and that. The second thing to be aware of, if you're trying to get, all this stuff over here, is you can easily sleeve the main cards, which are the bigger deal because those are the cards you're holding, but you can easily sleeve the main cards and they'll all fit perfectly fine. If you're trying to sleeve the mission cards over here, this insert does not have enough space to fit them in the specific slot over here. Obviously, if you don't use this compartment, you can kind of half bag it. I don't know. I am curious why they structured it like this with this. I almost would have expected another insert where you can at least put those cards in. Do these fit? They don't really fit. They're not going to fit. So, yeah, this is not really meant to handle sleeve cards for the mission cards. And then I have the rulebooks over here, and that's basically the crew. So, a bunch of upgrades over there, an insert, as well as the specific acrylic tiles over there, or Bakelite tiles, whatever they are. But it lets you keep the crew in Mission Deep Sea, and I'm getting rid of the crew because of that. That's what I mean when I say it almost saved me money. It's not really saving me money, but almost in a manner of speaking. So that is number 1, The Crew. Let's go from there to Libertalia. Libertalia is a recent game from Stonemaier Games, just came out, The Winds of Galecrest, and this specifically is, the reason I wanted to show this one is because it is a standard game with a great insert and great upgrades off the bat. So some of them are paid upgrades, the coin specifically. Now let's show this one at a separate time. Here's how everything fits over here. You can see I have the rules, I have the board, I have this which might go underneath, I don't actually know. Then you have the insert, which is a well done insert. And in general, Stonemaier Games in general, I find their inserts do range a bit, but I just like how far we've come in the industry as far as the types of inserts you can expect with your base games. What I mean by that is, if you remember some of the older games that you'd see in 2010, 2012, 2014, you'd have these games from Fantasy Flight, from Rio Grande Games, from Mayfair, from any number of different companies, where you just had like a standard box and things kind of just thrown into there to fit. Ravensburger, I mean, there's so many different companies that just had a default insert. Just compartments and throw stuff in. It'll probably fit somewhere. And now we have game inserts that are made by obviously third-party companies, which you see a lot in this video series, but also just from the companies themselves. This is an insert that works well. I have these extra coins I'll be throwing out. I just wanted them here so that I can show you the differences, because the other thing I'm going to show you is the upgraded coins you get over here. So what we have over here is we have all the cards, tons of cards. I need to slightly reorganize them just because of the way I have them distributed. But we also have these Bakelite sets over here. Where are my coins? There they are. There they are. Okay, so we have our little Bakelite sets over here. I don't know if they're officially Bakelite. I'm just calling them Bakelite. But these are also upgraded tokens up from the original Libertalia. I already talked about this in my review, basically, but there are some pros and cons of the new version versus the old version in terms of preferences, specifically in terms of the art. A lot of people understandably prefer the old art and the gritty style. I love the old art, but I like the new art as well. But these tokens are so much nicer than the original. The double-sided makes the ease of use. You draw them from a bag, and they're just fun to handle and deal with. But the main reason I want to go over this is, let me just dump these off to the side, is this box of coins. So this is your coin chest over here. Again, I'm going to be getting rid of the extra coins shortly. I just wanted you to have a comparison point. The extra coins over here, these are a paid add-on, so you have to factor that in. You will have to pay extra for these. But these are the metal coins you get from Stonemaier Games if you buy the metal coin set for Libertalia. You can see over here, this is what you're getting over here. And let's go ahead and show you some comparisons to what you get in the, well, if you just get the little cardboard chit coins. And honestly, I like most of the graphic design of the game. These regular coins, they're not an essential upgrade. You don't need any of these. Nothing here is essential. But the coins over here are nice and gritty, and these are very light and almost hard to like see details. They don't really hold the details quite as well. This is one of those times where the official upgraded metal coins are a solid addition to your collection. And these, like I said already, will be going into the box, and the next time I open this when I'm not on video and trying to be mindful of your time, I will be throwing those out. It's always that, I've talked about this in the past, it's always a balance, because what happens if I want to get rid of Libertalia at some point, and I want to keep the metal coins? Well, then I kind of want to keep the cardboard coins. Maybe if I can fit the cardboard coins under the insert, I'll do so, because yeah, if I ever do get rid of Libertalia, I would want those metal coins for another game. I don't know. It's always a balance, because on the other hand, it will hold its value more in terms of being the official coins that go with it. All those balances, but just having the option is nice, but not if I have to look at or store the coins all the time. So if they fit on the insert, I'll keep the coins. If not, they'll be gone. Which brings us to Bear Raid. Let's look at Bear Raid over here. Then from there, we'll go to Anno 1800. And then Merlin Big Box. I don't think I've done Merlin Big Box in one of these. I don't think I've done the Merlin Big Box. Now I'm wondering if I've done the Merlin Big Box in one of these videos. You see, usually when I do these board game upgrade and deluxification videos, I usually try to only cover games that I've played, that I've liked. And I only recently played Merlin for the first time, and so I don't think I would have shown Merlin before. Yeah, I could be wrong. Now I'm trying to think through if I've ever shown a game that I haven't played. I don't know. I have to take a look. I usually try not to, because I want to be attached to the deluxifications. I want to be invested in the board game, whether it's upgrades I bought extra, even if it's just a deluxe copy. I kind of want to be invested in them. Anyways, and I'm always invested in things I own, but like there's more investment if I know I like the game as opposed to if I happen to have an insert or this or that for a game that I haven't yet played. Yeah, now I want to look through. Now I'm going to look through my videos. In any case, going through this, this one is another one where I have, here we go, I have these, because I specifically grabbed this to go ahead and compare and contrast. These are outside the box because they will never fit in the box again. Basically, we have Bear Raid from Board Game Tables, designed by Ryan Courtney, I believe. Ryan Courtney, art by Nick Nazzaro, and this is a fantastic game. I will be reviewing it at some point, but not yet. I've done a bunch of Board Game Tables reviews. I'll get them eventually. But anyways, over here, what we have is from the Kickstarter upgrade. So if you got the retail edition or the Kickstarter edition, I don't know if you can get these from their website directly. I'm pretty sure you can get these directly from their website. I'm 99% sure. That's usually how Board Game Tables operate. So these theoretically are things you can get. But these are nice, hefty tokens. Let's open 2 bags. And it barely fits in the box. Barely. It barely fits in the box as far as getting all this crammed in, which is a downside. See, Board Game Tables operates with 2 standard box sizes. Ever since On Tour, I think On Tour was the last time they had a non-standard box size. They had a thicker, bigger box. But Board Game Tables has 2 box sizes that they use for all their games, to the best of my knowledge. One is this box over here, which is, you know, this little box, whatever. And the others are those small little squares, you see, that you find in games like Ghosts of Christmas and, Mountain Goats, GPS, Sequoia, all of those. The new one, Dandelions or something. So they have those 2 standard box sizes, which is great, except for when they're like, now let's see if you can fit all these extras we gave you in that tiny box that was really efficiently packed to begin with, and we gave you bigger stuff, so it's even harder. That's what they do. But again, first world problems. So, in the Kickstarter, they have the option for the base game, or the upgraded version, which gives you these nice tokens you're going to be drawing from the bag. In general, see what I said about Libertalia, or any of these videos where I've done these things, drawing hefty stuff from a bag is always nicer than drawing tokens. Quacks of Quedlinburg is going to be a prime example. But here we have the basic tokens that you have, just little, thin. Hey, let's just show you a little option. Let's show you these compare and contrast, okay? So, if we show you these here, we have these. Let's see, okay, they look nice on the surface, but then that is the difference of what you're drawing from the bag. That is the thickness aspect that you're going to be looking at, okay? So obviously one is a lot heftier and nicer to pull from the bag than the other. Easily a recommended upgrade if you like this game. No different than Quacks of Quedlinburg. It will make the whole thing feel a lot more premium. Now the potential downside, again, first world problems, is it has a hard time fitting in the box, and then more importantly, these can go on the floor there. More importantly, I want to upgrade the coins here, because there's a whole bag full of coins as well. This bag full of just, you know, regular cardboard coins. But the problem is, I don't see a way where I'll be able to upgrade these to metal coins and fit things in the box. And now, to be fair, by the way, if you just dumped it all into the box without trying to organize it in bags, you probably could make it work. But that would be a mess. It's just the nature of, like, just storing components in the box. You need less organizational room. This might benefit if you had a nice insert. Maybe it would work better. I don't know. But honestly, right now it kind of works. It kind of fits. But you gotta squeeze. There's gonna be a drop of box lift. I don't imagine metal coins to replace those cardboard coins would do the job. And to be fair, as much as I like metal coins, I vastly prefer, if anything I'm going to be drawing from a bag, which is these tokens, as opposed to metal coins, which I'm not drawing from a bag, it's much better to have an upgrade for drawing stuff from a bag than it is to go from the cardboard to the metal coins. Now again, you can see it kind of rests over the top lid a bit, although when you have a game on top of it, it does work just fine. So that box lift is more just general, like, plastic components, like the bag or whatever, as opposed to any necessary space. You can see it closes just fine when you have pressure on it. So that's the way that works. Again, overall, highly recommended upgrade. Just understand, you're going to have to play box Jenga, box Tetris, box Polyomino, box something. What's a game of trying to fit things? Tetris. Usually Tetris, right? That's what they say. They're playing Tetris with the box. You're playing Tetris with the box. From there, let's go to Anno 1800, which is another 3D insert. I think 3D insert. I have to take a look at this one. I'm not even sure it's 3D. This is from a Etsy shop that has, I'll have to go and check. I'll throw a link down below as usual, but I believe it has, is it 3D? Yes, 3D. It has like 4 or 5 inserts, or maybe, when I checked, I think it had 3 inserts, so we'll see. But we'll go ahead and take a look. It has, I think it has Underwater Cities, it has Beyond the Sun, and it has Anno 1800, possibly more. But I'll throw a link down below if you want to check that out. But this is a fantastic insert. If you are someone that likes Anno 1800, I cannot recommend this insert enough. Okay, I just cannot recommend it enough. That's some interest. Well, let's go ahead and go into it. So, Anno 1800 3D printed insert. This is what we have over here. This keeps everything ridiculously organized for you, specifically the tiles. If you've played Anno 1800, you're gonna have, and there's a little bit of extra space in some of these compartments. It's the nature of trying to fit things in. I don't know necessarily any better way to do it. Maybe you could have squeezed this a bit and had an extra space. I don't know what you could have done, but these do the job. You're gonna have your main old world tiles over here. Wait, is this old world or new world? I always forget. I'm pretty sure these are the old world. I'm pretty sure these are the new world. I don't know. But either way, you're going to have these tiles over here that can go into their own compartment here. You're going to have this over here. And you can just pull these out, by the way. You can just grab this entire thing. Let's put these back here. You can just grab this and put this on the table so you can have your stuff set up as you're playing through Anno 1800. Anno 1800 is a fantastic game, by the way. I do have a review of it. You can check that out. Here's going to be your cards over here. These can go next to wherever you want. And the way it works, actually, let me see if I have the board. So if I have the board over here, this is not the board. The board is down here. So let's show you something. So let's take these out over here and show you what we got. So this is the big one over here where you can go ahead and let's put this out. If you pull this out, you can see that we have our tiles over here. Okay, these are all the tiles, so you can just pull them out and start slotting them on the board. They have a few different compartments to slot them in. We have our, our 2 special endgame tiles over here. They all fit in different compartments, but for the most part, there's a few ways you could organize this depending on preference, but they will slot nicely onto your board. You won't have to deal with plastic bags, which is what I was doing with. This closes up nicely. Everything sits in there beautifully. And then you have 2 more compartments for these. Let's show you how these operate because you have some options on the table. So the first thingy is let's go ahead and put this down like so. This is your Anno 1800 board with all your spots for the tiles. And then this, if we go ahead and slot this out, these are going to be, you can put them wherever you want. You could put these, next to this like that, so they line up correctly with this. Let's see if we can, you can't really see that much over there, but you can slot these over here. You could take them out. Honestly, these ones I do just take out. I don't really care enough for the box. But these ones over here, these ones I leave as is, and I simply slot this over here next to the board like so. So you can see over here, it lines up with the various sections like so. But these ones I just slot right there. Does the job perfectly, and I don't have to deal with taking them out. And it has curved corners, so you can grab these out without having to worry about anything. You can slide them along the corner because the insert part has those curved little aspects, making it easier to grab tokens from. These I also leave in. I usually put these at the top of the table, like so. And that's basically my Anno 1800 thing. I go ahead and slot these tokens out, put them into the various locations. The cards go onto the board. These come out, but these 2 inserts I leave as is so they can do the job over there. But that's the Anno 1800 insert. Again, highly recommend this one if you are someone who likes Anno 1800 and if you want to have something that, well, fits nicely in the box. It makes your setup and tear down easier. Again, I'll have a link down below to that. So, that is Anno 1800, which brings us to the last one, which is Merlin. Merlin, a game that I played for the first time this past week. I dove into it with a few expansions already, specifically because and I'll have a review of it at some point, but specifically because the Merlin game is recommended as being better with expansions added. Specific expansions as well. The Knights of the Round Table, I believe, the Arthur, whatever it is. The Arthur is the main one, I think. But in any case, as far as Merlin, so I dove into it with some expansions. I've already read the rules for more expansions. I'll be diving into it again. I kind of want to go through all the content they have for it. But I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it with the caveat that I don't know if I would have enjoyed it as much without the expansions. If you look on Board Game Geek, in general, the ratings with expansions are far more positive. And so I specifically dove into it with those expansions in mind. But let's go ahead and take a look over here. This is Merlin. This is the deluxe big box, which is excellent. I believe I originally saw this over on Man vs. Meeple had an unboxing of the game, and I had always wanted to get my hands on Merlin, but had never, well, gotten around to it, because it's Stefan Feld. I love Stefan Feld in general. This is no exception, although I don't yet know where it ranks. It's definitely not my favorite yet. It's definitely not my favorite as far as up there with Castle of Burgundy, with Bruges, with, I don't know what else is my favorite from him. Castle of Burgundy, Bruges, The Oracle of Delphi, Notre Dame. Those are some of my favorite games. Bora Bora. This is probably above Kokopelli for me, but still lower than some of his games. In general, most Stefan Feld games I like. It's just a question of how much. And this is your insert that they have a beautiful little, graphic in terms of if you forget how things go back, which is very possible. But this nicely contains all the expansions in a way that is generally pretty easy to follow. And then this random crown that you could disassemble or could just fit over there in the middle. So let's go ahead and take these out. You can see over here we have these. Again, these fit nicely over one another like so. I'm not going to open these all up. I just want to show you what you get over here in the big box. This is every Queenie and every expansion for Merlin, at least as of the time of whatever was available. We have our board over here, which can go there at the side. We have our specific extra tiles over here from one of the expansions, and everything, again, everything is nicely fit. They were nice enough to include a compartment down here for sleeved cards. This compartment is currently not being used because I haven't yet sleeved my cards, but if you do sleeve your cards, you'll have to change where the cards go or have an extra spot for them. So that's what this compartment over here is for. We have our sideboards over here. These are your main player boards that will host your various tokens and cards and traders and all those things. And then we have this over here as well. So these are going to be some of the various options. You have your, your basic, I can't remember what they're called, but these are one of the first modules you have where you basically King's Favor, I think the King's Favor, I believe, where you can trade in cards for extras instead of for points, thus adding to a bit of the tableau building. You have your spots over here for holding on to the picks when they invade, as well as the cards for the various missions. Those all fall down nicely. Those all slot into the box over there. We have these 2 boards from 2 other expansions. That slot over there. And then, again, your King's Favor module on top of that. So all of that works nicely. You have your 2 extra round tables, depending on which expansion you're playing with. This can be your Arthur expansion. You have your Arthur expansion overlay as well. Again, everything beautifully fitting in there. These will go back over here where they slot nicely into that spot. And then we have the various expansions, which we'll go through it. We have our base game cards, our various base game components. This is basically everything is base game. So the way it works is nicely organized so that you mostly have your base game stuff. I've actually swapped out the 2 expansion flags for Arthur with the 2 base game flags because I'm always going to, not always, but probably always going to use these instead of these, but you have the option there, but I put them to the default lineup instead. And then here's more base game components. The various tiles for the Environs edge boards, the starting bonuses, some of the various tokens you can get, and then the traders. So these 2 trays, when you put them like this, will make up the bulk. Why is that not resting properly? Something is wrong here. Something's wrong here. What's going on? Let's see. Does this go on top of there? Do I have to? 1 second. I might be doing something wrong. This one goes like there. Okay, you're slotting in. This goes like that, and this goes like that. Perfect. Why does it feel? It feels like this is a bit raised. I have to take a look at that. Something feels off. Let's see. Okay. You come back. I don't know. Are these supposed to go? I think I'm doing this correctly. I think this came out the exact way it went in. But now it feels like it's a drop raised. It's fine. I can't remember if this is the way it's supposed to be or if I messed something up. We'll deal with it later. Anyways, this goes over here like so. And then we can go ahead and grab this token over here, this tray. This can be some of the other expansions. Again, they mostly do a good job of separating the expansions the way they're meant to be organized. So you often have to go for only the trays you specifically want to. This is going to be the Knights of the Round Table expansion, the picks. These are the expansions I've already played with. These are the ones I have not, which is why I'm able to say things like that. Here's one of the Queenie modules, stuff like that over here. And then, lastly, you have your individual player trays. I definitely messed something up. This is not like this before. I will deal with that later properly. We're going to put these back like so, and then I'll show you the last one in a second. So here we go. We're going to have a crown over there, and then we will have this last player tray, which I'll show you how that works. Now this does have some expansion components in it, depending on what you use. You have this from the Arthur module, and then you have the Arthur die, and then you have all your spots over here. You have your little, score marker, you have your 100 points, you have your Merlin staffs, your King's Favor bonuses, your main knight that'll go on the table, your buildings for the Environs over here, your various influence tokens, and then your actual, I can't remember the vassals over here. And that all fits nicely over there with 2 components in the Arthur module, Arthur expansion, and those all fit in beautifully. And that's what you get with the big box. You get just pure organization. If you are someone who has Merlin, if you like Merlin, that's what I forgot. I knew I did something wrong. Let's go ahead and undo that. I was like, I knew there's a reason why it's just not balanced the way it usually is. So if I take these out here, and I put these like this, and then I actually slot you underneath the way you're supposed to go, now you are resting properly. I was like, it seems right, but it's wrong at the same time. Okay, so we put these like so, like so, like so, and like so, and then this over here. And then we have our rulebook, which has all those modules over there. And then our handy-dandy little Merlin Deluxe big box sheet that shows you what you need to see in case you ever forget exactly how anything is organized. So I'm keeping that because, honestly, I haven't needed it since I started playing it, but it's really useful. And it was really useful the first time I organized everything. And that is what we have for our 5 deluxification games, which brings us to the end of the video where I do that giveaway thing I told you about, which is, if you remember, last video, the last episode we had of deluxifications, I showed you my Dominion big box with all the cards. This is from an Etsy shop called OneSharpJoe. They do a bunch of inserts. I specifically use them for Marvel Champions and now for Dominion, which they just added. But they did a giveaway. They sponsored a giveaway, or whatever you want to call it. Not sponsored. There's no payment. They're just offering a thingy. But if you want to win a Dominion giant insert, I forgot to do what I want to put in the comments. In the comments down below, just have the word Joe. I don't know. Just have the word Joe somewhere in the comments down below, and I will pick sometime in the next week or so. Let's see. Today, this is going up now. Let's say in the next week in review, I think this is going up Friday, so not tomorrow, but next Saturday. I'll have the exact date in the comments down below, but I'll go ahead and announce the winner of who won the Dominion insert from OneSharpJoe. That will be in the next week in review. Again, details in the description down below, in case any of this is unclear and vague, because I'm making it up on the spot. So that's that if you want to go ahead and win one of those. In any case, this is Board Game Upgrades and Deluxifications, a whole bunch of nice stuff, different degrees of essentialness. Nothing's essential. It's all extra stuff. It's all if you want to upgrade your games. The Merlin Big Box is fantastic if you like Merlin expansion. Libertalia is more just about where we've come as far as games nowadays and what they bring to the table as far as games what they used to bring. The crew, I think if you want to keep the crew and have all the playability, this gives you those nice extras in terms of the insert and the little tokens that you can use. Bear Raid, fantastic upgrade if you like Bear Raid, lets you draw tokens from the bag. And then Anno 1800, a really strong quality of life insert that really makes the whole setup process and just accessibility. I mean, Anno 1800 is a fantastic game that the setup and teardown is a little tedious, and this makes it significantly easier. In any case, until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, have a good one.